Now screen is visible to you. Okay, right. Listen. So we start from the beginning. So that is what is an operating system, what operating system can do by simply introduction to the operating system. So I think already you know what is meant by operating system. So actually operating system is basic definition for operating system is so an operating system is either a program or a software. The responsibility is to providing the interface with computer's hardware. So simply, which is the interface, intermediary between user and user's computer. So that is the basic definition for the operating system. So that means here either we can use either any program or sometimes we can call as software also. So here operating system is a program or software, so which act as a some intermediary between the computer and the computer used user. So that is the basic definition for the operating system. So already you know whenever we want to use our PC, which may be laptop or a desktop or any other, so if you want to use any specific task or any specific application or any specific process, so for that purpose we are interacting with our device with the help of operating system only. So here operating system was providing or taking the instructions from the user and apply such instructions to the hardware components of the computer. So for that purpose, basically we are using the operating system. So now we observe whatever the goals of the operating systems. So simply whenever we want to execute any program or solving something with computer. So for that purpose, to usually executing that particular program or to easily solving our required problem by using the computer. So for that, that is the major goal of the operating system. And next, whenever we want to use our computer conveniently, we want to use conveniently of any computer, for that purpose also we are using the operating system. And one more is whenever we want to use the computer's hardware in efficient manner, so for that, that is also one more goal of the operating system. So these are the major goals of the operating system. So here, first one is the whenever we want to execute or whenever we want to working with our PC. So without to solving the any specific problem or to accessing the any specific data. So such our requirement can be easily accessed by the user. So that is the one major role of the goal of the operating system. And next, so whenever we are using our PC or either laptop, we can conveniently use that particular device. Conveniently means without any struggles to using that particular device. And whenever we want to use that particular hardware, sorry, that particular device in efficient manner is without wasting their time, without wasting either computer's hardware time. So for that purpose here OS is responsible. So these are the major goals of the operating system. And next what is the computer system structure? So now just now we was discussed what is the operating system. So now we observe what is the basic structure of the operating system. So here while we are going to discussing about structure of the operating system, first of all we observe whatever the major components of the operating system. So here total components belongs to the that particular computer. So those all components are divided into four categories or four components. So those are hardware, operating system, and application program, and then users. So these are the majorly four components of the any computer system. So one is the hardware, and next one is the operating system, and third one is the application program, and the final one is the users. So now coming to the hardware. So already you well known about the hardware. So whatever the equipment or whatever the components was used to build a PC. So that is nothing but hardware, like CPU. So to processing anything, for that purpose, we are using the CPU. To process anything, so to completing that particular process, we can use some memory. మనం ఏదన్నా ఒక డేటాను ప్రాసెసింగ్ చేయాలి అంటే ఆ డేటా సమ్వేర్ స్టోర్ చేయాలి. ఫర్ దట్ పర్పస్ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ సమ్ మెమరీ. సో దట్ ఈస్ వన్ డివైస్. నెక్స్ట్, so IO devices like keyboard, monitor, these are. So these are the some major hardware components was used in the any computing device. And next, coming to the second component, that is operating system. So here, which is the key role in any computer? Here, operating system was providing the key role. So that means we have efficient computer hardware, and in case we don't have proper knowledge on that particular PC or that particular components, then we can't able to utilize those hardware components of the computer. So to effectively utilize those computer peripherals or computers hardware, for that purpose here operating system was used. So that means by simply it can coordinate whatever the hardware of the computer and user. So we can easily use those hardware components for completing the our required tasks. So for that purpose, we are using the operating system. And the third one is the application program. So we have uh, computer, which may be either desktop or laptop, and operating system also. Okay, for example, we are using Windows 10. So now we can able to perform any operation on our PC. Is it possible? Actually, not possible. So for example, if I want to conduct online class, I have the laptop and I have the net connectivity. Without browser, is it possible? Not possible. So to connect through some online class by using some platform like Google Meet or Zoom or any other. So for that purpose, we must use some browser or some application software. In case I was using the Zoom, for that purpose, I can use Zoom software. In case for Google Meet, for that purpose, I was I must use some browser. So then only I can able to conduct some online class. So that means here the importance of application program is based on our requirement. Based on our requirement, we must use some application program. For example, if you want to practice C program without having C compiler, you can't able to practice the C program. At the same way, in case if you want to practice some Java programs, for that purpose, you must use Java software. In case if you want to give the presentation, for example, currently I am giving some presentation. So without using the related application, so that is MS PowerPoint, so it is not possible. So without using the PowerPoint, it was also not possible. So that is the importance of the application program. So these application programs are used to effectively using the system resources to solve our required application or our required program. So for that purpose, we are using the application programs. And final component is users. We are the users. So these are the four components of the any computer system. So here we can observe in diagrammatic representation of the four components of any computer system. So here first level is the computer hardware. So this is the computer hardware. After that, we are using the operating system. So this is the first level. So that is hardware, computer hardware, like either CPU, memory, IO devices, these all things. And to using this computer hardware effectively, we can use operating system. So this is the interface between users and computer hardware. So this is the interface between the user and computer hardware. So to effectively using these computer hardware for any specific application, for that purpose, we are using the application programs. For example, if I want to practice some compiler, let me say the C program. For that purpose, I was using the C compiler. So this is the some application program. So this application program was giving the instructions to operating system. Operating system was interface with the hardware and then complete that particular program execution. So after getting the result, so here computer hardware was returned that result to the operating system. Operating system was returns to the application software. So based on this application software, we can watch what is the we can see what is the output of that particular program. So this is the process. So these are the four components of the any computer system. So now we can so till now we finished what is operating system, what are the structure of the any computer system. So now we can observe what operating system can do. So that means which type of activities or which we can perform with operating system, which type of activities are whatever the several activities or several functions or several uh, applications can be done by the operating system. So now here whatever the responsibilities or whatever the functionalities or services of the operating system means so that is depending upon the user point of view. So here, what operating system can do means we can't exactly say that operating system can do only this application or only this particular process. So here, that is depending upon the user point of view. So that means based on the user requirement, here operating system can do that particular requirements or that particular application. For example, I am using the computer for conducting the online classes. For that purpose, here operating system responsibilities is providing the interfaces with my computer to implementing or to performing the online classes. For example, I want to use some device to washing the clothes. So that means which may be washing machine. So here washing machine was also having some operating system. So small operating system. So what is the functionality here? It can wash the clothes. So that is depending upon the user point of view, user requirements. Based on the user requirements, operating system can do several activities. So for example, in case user wants some convenience. So if I want to use my device with conveniently and some good performance, అంటే నాకు కన్వీనియంట్ గా యూజ్ చేయాలి, బెటర్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ ఉండాలి అట్ దట్ సిచ్యువేషన్. సో దిస్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ డజంట్ కేర్, దిస్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ డోంట్ కేర్ ఆర్ డజంట్ కన్సిడర్ అబౌట్ ది రీసోర్స్ యూటిలైజేషన్. నాకు కన్వీనియంట్ గా జరగాలి, బెటర్ పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ తో ఉండాలి. అటువంటిప్పుడు ఏంటి, రీసోర్స్ యూటిలైజేషన్ అనేది కన్సిడర్ చేయదు. సో ఇన్ కేస్ నాకు కన్వీనియంట్ కాదు, పర్ఫార్మెన్స్ కావాలి. So in case I want to use that particular computer for utilization, not performance, best utilization. At that situation, same operating system can allocate the resources properly. Don't wasting any resource. So that's why. So that is depending upon the user point of view. Whatever the requirements of the user, those requirements can be fulfilled by the operating system. For example, consider the second one. So in case I am using the computer in shared environment. So first వచ్చేసి personal purpose use చేస్తున్నాం కాబట్టి it doesn't consider about the resource utilization. In case we are using the computer or we are performing some operations with the particular computer in shared environment. At that situation, whenever we are using the device in shared environment, at that situation, so it must be considered about resource utilization. Why? Because here single resource is used by the multiple users. At that situation, it can efficiently and effectively using the resources to fulfill the user requirements. So for example, either mainframe computers or mini computers. So at the same way, in case we are using any workstation. So here workstation means it was having the dedicated dedicated connections for each and every process or each and every application. So prati application related dedicated components and I use some in workstations. At that situation, it can betterly using the resources and manage and sharing the such resources with the servers. So here till now we was observed 3 points. So in 3 points, operating system can do 3 types of functionalities. So that's why we can simply say that what operating system can do means So that is depending upon the user point of view. So in case we are using the handheld computers, handheld computer means nothing but a portable. So very small and easily carrying or easily operating within our hand. So at that situation, so whenever we are trying to reduce the size of any device, what is the problem? We can't able to provide efficient resources. Efficient resources. So that means here resources was very less. So at that situation, we can operating system responsibility is optimizing the battery performance. Why? Because whenever we are using the handheld computers, those are not having power supply. It was entire device was runs on the either battery. So that's why we can reduce the number of resources and optimizing the usability and battery life. So in case some computers have doesn't require any user interface. Some devices was doesn't require any user interfaces. Such kind of computers or such kind of devices is known as the embedded computers. So now consider some simple example, either projector. Is it require any user input? Nothing. So once we connect the our laptop or our desktop to the projector, simply it was displaying whatever the data was given to the projector. Same data was given displayed by the projector. At that situation, there was no need of user interface. We are using some cable for interfering with those two components. So such kind of device is known as the embedded computers. What is the difference between embedded computer and normal computer means here embedded computer can do fixed functionalities. Embedded computer is also a computer, but general purpose computer ki embedded computers ki difference enti ante, so here embedded computers can do fixed functionalities at the time of implementing that particular device. Whatever the functionalities was designed, only those functionalities can be performed by the that particular computer. Such kind of computers is known as embedded computers. Whenever we are designing that particular computer for general purpose or multi-purpose, at that situation, so it can allows any new applications or any new programs at any time. So that is the general purpose or multi-purpose computers. So that is the difference between embedded computer and normal computer. ఎంబెడెడ్ కంప్యూటర్లు ఏంటి, మనం డిజైన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఏ ఫీచర్స్ అయితే ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తామో లేదా డిజైన్ చేస్తామో ఓన్లీ ఆ ఫీచర్స్ని మాత్రమే ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది. For example, we can consider our laptops. So in case present and C programming practice చేయాలి, it's possible. After some time, I want to practice Java, possible. After some days, either after 1 year, I want to practice any other platform like Python, it was also possible. So simply using the particular application, and that means installing the particular application program and practice any programming language in this way. So these are the general purpose computers or multi-purpose computers. So that is the difference between embedded computers and normal computers. So now we can observe some more definition for the operating system. So already we was define operating system. So it is the just interference or intermediary device between the user and computer hardware. So now we will check some other, is there any possible additional definitions or some other definitions of the operating system. Check out this now, this one. OS is a resource allocator. అలా పిలవచ్చా పిలవలేమా? So here operating system is a resource allocator. Why? Whenever we have more number of resources for that particular computer, to solving or to solving our required problem, for that purpose operating system responsibility is based on the user requirement, whatever the resources is required, so it can arrange such resources and then completing that particular program. So that is the purpose of the operating system. So that's why we can say that operating system is a resource allocator. Why? Because it can allocate whatever the resources was required to complete the current process. That's why. So in this process, operating system can able to manage all the resources, whatever the resources was given by the that particular given to the that particular operating system. Those all resources can be managed efficiently. And this process here operating system can able to decide which resource can be accessed at present, after some time whatever the resources was required. So that means it can able to decides whatever the resources was required to complete that particular process without occurring any conflicts, so that means, for example, there are three resources, just assume. So out of those three resources, to complete any specific instruction, just assume resource 1, resource 2, resource 3 was required. To complete some application, we need three resources. So those three resources was available in the computer, but there is some dependency. That means whenever we are using the first resource, then only second resource can getting the proper update or proper value. At that situation, here operating system can able to decide first allocating the resource 1, after that resource 2, after that resource 3. So such kind of decision is also managed by the operating system to efficiently using this such resources to solve user required application or user required program. And next, one more definition, so that is operating system is a control program. So here we can say is that operating system is a some control program. Why we can say is that operating system is a control program means here operating system can able to control multiple devices or multiple device controllers. For example, IO, memory or any other device controllers. So to managing the memory, for that purpose we are using one controller. To managing the IO devices, for that purpose we are using the one controller. Either to managing with any other resources, for that purpose we are using the some other controller. So these all controllers can handle by the operating system. So that's why we can also say that OS is a control program. Why? Because it can execute the such programs by using different device controllers, and it can prevent the errors while we are using the different control program. That's why we can say that OS is a some control program also. So till now we was observed total three definitions. One is the operating system is a intermediary service between computer hardware and computer user who was used by that particular computer. And the second one is the operating system is a resource allocator. And third one is operating system is a control program. So these are the several definitions for the operating system. So actually, why we are defining multiple definitions for the operating system means, actually there was no universally accepted definition for the operating system. Why? Because based on the user requirement, operating system definition will be changed. Already previously we was discussed what operating system can do, that is user point of view. In this same way, here there was no proper definition for the operating system. Why? Because based on user requirement, here operating system definition will be changed. In case user wants to use the operating system for accessing several resources, at that situation OS is a resource allocator. In case user was using that particular device for controlling the several devices, at that situation OS is a control program. In case user was using that particular device for practicing some several programs or any other things, at that situation OS is the intermediary between the user and computer components. So in this way, so that's why there was no universal definition. So here, based on our requirement, those operating system vendor will providing the those functionalities related operating system. For example, we are ordering some device, that device can perform only few functionalities. Then here vendor was responsible for providing the operating system to complete only those few functionalities only. For example, either washing machine. So it can perform only those few functionalities like easy mode, normal mode wash, either easy wash, either express wash. So in this way, different modes. So that is depending upon the user requirement. That's why there was no exact definition for the operating system. But to solving the user requirements or to providing the services to the user for that purpose, so here operating system is always running one program. So until uh, turn off that particular device, and so once device was started, until turn off the device, power off the device, from beginning to the ending, so it was continuously running this some program. So that program is known as the kernel. So this kernel is the responsible for accessing the instructions from any device. It was responsible for accessing the instructions from any device. So that's why. So next, so is there anything else for the operating system definition means? So which may be some system program. Here operating system is also a some system program or some application program. So these are the several definitions for the operating system. Okay, wait. So here in operating system, the major components or the major functionality was performed by the kernel. So except kernel, remaining is either system program or application programs. So here kernel is the always running program on the operating system. ఎందుకు సార్ ఎప్పుడు రన్ అవుతూ ఉండాలి సమ్ ప్రోగ్రామ్? Why? Because just wait a second. For example, currently I am using my PC for conducting the online class, right? So for that purpose, whatever the application I was used Google Chrome and then PowerPoint for presentation, right? కానీ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ గా చూడండి అసలు ఎన్ని అప్లికేషన్స్ రన్ అవుతున్నాయి ఇక్కడ చూడండి. అప్లికేషన్స్, యా. సో గూగుల్ క్రోమ్ లో టోటల్ 6 ట్యాబ్స్ ఉన్నాయి. నెక్స్ట్ ఇక్కడ చూడండి టోటల్. సో దీస్ ఆర్ ద నెంబర్ టోటల్ కౌంట్ వస్తుంది, ఎక్కడ వస్తుంది? ప్రాసెసెస్ 6. Yeah. So here you can observe, ఇక్కడ చూడండి CPU percentage is 50 నుంచి వేరీ అవుతుంది, 53%, 56%, 58%, 60%. And memory 4.1 GB by 7.9 GB. So here memory includes main memory. So that is RAM. ఓకే, ఇక్కడ మనకు కావాల్సిన డేటా ఇక్కడ ఉంటుంది చూడండి. Number of processes, how many? 200 processes approximately. So just now changed 199. Next, previously 198, previously 200. Next ఇక్కడ చూడండి number of threads, and this is the clock speed. Speed indicates clock speed of the CPU. Actually the base speed is 2 GHz, and out of those 2 GHz it was currently utilizing 1.9 GHz or 1.8 GHz. So here you can also observe some more details about my device processor. So L1 cache size is 128. ఇప్పుడు చూడండి మళ్ళీ 198 ప్రాసెసెస్కి వచ్చింది. మనం ఏమైనా అడిషనల్గా ఒక ప్రాసెస్ ఓపెన్ చేయలేదు, అలానేసి ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ ప్రాసెస్ని క్లోజ్ చేయలేదు. బట్ హియర్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ప్రాసెసెస్ కౌంట్ వాజ్ వేరియింగ్, టైం బై టైం వేరీ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో దిస్ ఇస్ L1 cache 128, L2 cache is 512, L3 cache is 3 MB. సో ఓకే, ఎనీహో, సో మనం ప్రజెంట్ ప్రాసెసెస్ గురించి డిస్కస్ చేస్తున్నాం. సో టోటల్ 198 ప్రాసెసెస్ రన్ అవుతున్నాయి. యాక్చువల్గా నేను యూజ్ చేసేది ఏంటి? ఓన్లీ 3. గూగుల్ క్రోమ్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను, పవర్ పాయింట్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను. దాట్స్ ఇట్. ఫర్ ఓకే, వన్ మోర్ ఫైల్ ఆల్సో. సో ఫైల్ ఎక్స్ప్లోరర్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాను ఇక్కడ, సమ్ ఫోల్డర్. for opening your PPT. So hardly I was using 5 or 6 applications, but background it was running approximately 198 processes. Why it was running those number of processes means to providing the any service related to the user. So for that purpose it was always running some background applications. So to run those applications properly, for that purpose your operating system was continuously running some program. That program is known as the kernel. So here this kernel program is responsible for creating a number of processes to handling the user required services. So for that purpose always it was running the some program. So other than that program, is there anything else was used in operating system? Is that is the one is the system program and another one is the either application program. A system program means to perform the system required applications. Application program means to perform the user required applications. For that purpose we are using the system programs and application programs. So these are some details about the operating system. So now we can discuss how to start the computer. So till now we was observe what is the definition for operating system and what operating system can do and what are the major components or structure of the computer. That means in structure of computer we was observed there are 4 components in operating system like that. Now we can discuss computer startup. How computer can start? I think everybody know how device computer was start. So how to start it? Whenever we turn on our PC, it can starting the some process. So here, for example, we are using laptop or desktop. మనం పవర్ బటన్ ఆన్ చేయగానే ఇమీడియట్ గా ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ లోడ్ అవుతుందా? సో ఇట్స్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్. సో టు లోడ్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ it requires some necessary files, it requires some number of files. మనకి ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ సర్వీసెస్ ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేయాలి అంటే ఇట్ నీడ్స్ some number of programs or some number of files. Those are run at the whenever we just turn on the PC. అంటే మనం పవర్ బటన్ ఆన్ చేయగానే ఇమీడియట్ గా మనకి ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది లోడ్ అవుతుంది. సో టు లోడ్ ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ ఇట్ వాస్ కాపీయింగ్, అంటే ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ లోడ్ కావడానికి ఇట్ వాస్ కాపీయింగ్ సమ్ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఫైల్స్ ఫ్రమ్ హార్డ్ డిస్క్ టు ది మెయిన్ మెమరీ, ఫ్రమ్ సెకండరీ మెమరీ టు ది మెయిన్ మెమరీ. సో ఈ ప్రాసెస్ అంటే మనం పవర్ బటన్ ఆన్ చేయగానే it was running some program. That program is responsible for copying the files from one memory to another memory. ఎందుకు కాపీ చేస్తుంది? To run the operating system. So this process is known as the computer startup, or whatever the program was used to copying the files from one memory to another memory. So that program is known as the bootstrap program. Bootstrap program. So this bootstrap program is used to load necessary files to run the operating system. అంటే మనం ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ రన్ చేయడానికి ఏ ఏ ఫైల్స్ అయితే కావాలో వాటన్నింటిని లోడ్ చేయడానికి we are using the one program. That program is known as bootstrap program. మనం డివైస్ ని జస్ట్ పవర్ ఆన్ చేయగానే సో దిస్ ప్రోగ్రామ్ వాజ్ ఇనిషియేటెడ్ ఫస్ట్ ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ రన్ అవుతుంది. సో ఇట్ whenever it was running, what is the functionality? So it will collect whatever the files to start operating system. ఆ ఫైల్స్ అన్నింటిని లోడ్ చేసుకొని తర్వాత మనకు ఆపరేటింగ్ సిస్టమ్ అనేది రన్ అవుతుంది. సో అసలు ఈ ప్రోగ్రామ్ ఎక్కడ స్టోర్ అయి ఉంటుంది? సో దిస్ bootstrap program was stored in ROM, read-only memory or EPROM, electronically programmable read-only memory. So in this we are storing that particular program. So this program is also known as the firmware. So what is the purpose of this one? So it can initialize the all aspects of the system. So whatever the all possible files, those all things can be initialized by this particular program, and it will loads operating system kernel and then starts their execution. So for that purpose we are using the bootstrap program. So these are the details about computer startup. మనం డివైస్ ని టర్న్ ఆన్ చేయగానే మీరు అబ్జర్వ్ చేయొచ్చు విండోస్ అనేసి లోడ్ అవుతూ ఉంటుంది. సో దట్ ఇండికేట్స్ ఇట్ వాస్ కాపీయింగ్ సమ్ ఫైల్స్ ఫ్రమ్ వన్ మెమరీ టు అనదర్ మెమరీ. సో నౌ ఐఎమ్ ఆస్కింగ్ సమ్ క్వశ్చన్. సో దట్ పర్టికులర్ ఫైల్స్ వాస్ కాపీయింగ్ ఫ్రమ్ వేర్ టు వేర్? ఏ మెమరీ నుంచి ఏ మెమరీ కాపీ అవుతాయి, ఎందుకు కాపీ అవుతాయి? ఎనీవన్ కెన్ ఆన్సర్? So that is it was copying the files from secondary memory to main memory. Secondary memory means hard disk, main memory means RAM. So it was copying to run the operating system. Those supported files was copying from hard disk to the main memory. So once those all files was loaded in the main memory, then only operating system will be start the services. Right? 12:48. Okay, it's enough for today's session.